was just on here and I got an idea. So, first of all, as far as somebody using my father's name and subscribing to my channel, man, jerk offs and the internet go together like peanut butter and jelly. So, that don't matter. That don't matter to me at all. It's just, that's not a cool thing to do. I mean, it's not even funny, you know? It's like telling a tasteless joke, and it's okay if it's funny. But if it's not funny, it's not funny. It's not funny. It's just a pointless jab at somebody who could give a fuck. But no, I did come up with a good idea. See, that's why I'm on here. And you know, everybody telling me, move. You need to move. You need to get out of here. Okay, so I'm like, okay, how about giving me like $3,000 so I can get out of here? Because I paid the rent 4 months in advance, so I got 2 free months of rent living here, you know. And so every day I have conversations with the war veteran guy where we talk about various ways that we would fight one another. It's like I would do this, I would do that, And I said, well, you got hair, and it's kind of ugly. And it's like the dude turns on a dime, and like, what did I say to him today? Oh, he was like, "What's it gonna take to make you shut up?" And I was like, "An assault charge." And then he took that like really seriously, and it's like, you know, it's like giving me the EY and shit, like all evil and stuff, and he goes from like laughing to he's just. But anyways, so I got 2 months free rent here, and I talked to my shrink on Monday. I believe it's still Tuesday, though it's been a long day. But he was like, "Move," and I'm like, "Wait a minute. These are the same people that have a subsidiary called ICANN." And I'm slurring my speech a little bit, partly from gabapentin, so I didn't take no volume, and partly from fatigue. But if you remember correctly, this agency that's associated with the psychiatric people I go to is called ICANN. And if they can pay for a piece of shit break-in artist, meth junkie motherfucker, they can pay for me. I'm a citizen, you know. So I can like, man, probably, and I already got a place scoped out to live with a police station right across the street. Should keep the crime level down. It's set up for apartments. It's got the extra concrete reinforcing to keep the sound out. I'm like, man, I can get out of here in like 3 months. It doesn't have to be like a long, drawn out process. Because I'd be like, look, I see the psychiatrist guy in a month. I was like, I want to see you again in a month. And because so much stuff happens in 3 months to me, I had to go through bed bug, spray with poison, landlord nonsense, all that beef that you heard me talk about before. These are like he's like 15 minutes late even calling me in. It's supposed to be a 40-minute appointment. How am I gonna get all that in 25 minutes? How do you get 3 months in of the bullshit I've been through in 25 minutes? Can't do it, you know. And I'm tucked in there like a manic depressive in a manic phase because I'm just trying to get everything in. I'm under a time constraint. So, he's like, well, do you want to see me in a month? So I made an appointment for September 9th. And I'm going to talk about one thing, and it's getting the fuck out of here. And I don't know how it's going to work out. That's what we're going to talk about. I'm going to say, uh, you remember that joke you made about like you were sending people here from your agency to assist my mental health while you were paying for it to be destroyed, and you said, well, we got to we got to drum up business somehow. So I'm going to start out, and then I was like, well, you can look at my criminal record. You can look at my situation, and I'll add in the fact that I'm flirting with. Uh, well, I already do have the tobacco addiction going. I mean, I rolled up I took rolling tobacco, and I rolled up an ATM receipt and smoked it. So, thanks, tobacco addiction's back. So, that's bad. And it's because when this guy had a job and was working 12-hour shifts, he wouldn't get drunk, and we would talk through the window, and he would just be throwing cigarettes at me and like wouldn't take no for an answer. He'd actually leave cigarettes in the window, you know, as like a thank you for letting him use my electricity because at the time I don't think he had any electricity. So it's like uh, it's like uh, I got plenty of ammunition as far as getting out of here. I got a guy that's talking about beating me up every day. I mean, literally every day. Okay, that's got a history with the police. I actually, as you remember, signed the papers to keep him out of jail. So he's all drunk. He's like, I don't care about jail. I said he was like talking all evil to me. I'm like, who's the guy who signed them papers to keep you out of jail? I don't care about a few days in jail. I already did 10 days in jail 2 months ago. So uh, it's all up with this guy. You don't know what you're gonna get. So I got that I can work with. I got the tobacco addiction being rekindled with me with a heart condition, and I've been on. He's been prescribing Valium for me uh, since uh, December 3rd of last year. So I'm gonna tell him I'm flirting with addiction, and I may be. I don't even know. I mean, I gotta take pills to deal with this dude. That's what I was telling him when I was in the office with him. I was like, look, you don't understand, man. This guy, it's like I, I said just because I knew he was outside and I knew that I had to wait for my ride and I was gonna have to deal with him, and plus the stress of being around him. I made the mistake of telling him that I popped two at a time. I'm supposed to take one pill 3 times a day. So, you never be honest apparently with doctors and psychiatrists. It just doesn't pay. But, you know, he ain't been around the guy. The guy beat up a house and let the blood drip down the house and considered himself Picasso. And he would be offended if I washed his blood off the house. He'd be like, where's my blood? I mean, this is what we're talking about here. So, uh, and Roy ain't no basket of flowers neither, you know. So, and I told him the story. He couldn't believe it. I said, shh. I was like, we're getting to the good part. He couldn't believe that I got sprayed. So I was like, we're getting to the good part. You just let it roll. Because he was like, what the fuck? Because he swears and shit. And uh, so I told him, like, I wasn't even supposed to be in the room legally while the guy was spraying the poison. And the guy sprayed me. And I said I had him dead to rights, but I didn't want to take him to civil court because I didn't want to put myself through that. For just nickels, cause just for some money, because that money don't mean nothing to me. As long as I have enough to live on. So Anyways, I was like, just wait, I explained to him what associate that he said he agreed with me, and he's got, obviously a lot more studied on the. So he says that is sociopathic behavior. That you watch somebody get sprayed with poison, and then you cannot help but express your own opinion on the matter. You can't let it go. You have to speak up and say you're so important. It's a combination of narcissism and sociopathy. But you have to say something. So he had to open his big mouth and say, I don't appreciate the way you treated the exterminator that poisoned you for 4 days. So he heard that story. So I'm thinking I can get him to set me up somewhere, and I don't know how much of the rent they pay. But here's another key component to my day. I wake up in the morning. Things been tight. Uh, I call my bank. I'm expecting to have $132 in the bank. I have two. I have $2 in the bank right now. That's also going to help me. Okay? That's also going to help me. Uh, Down the road, I don't know if to keep track of like withdrawals, but I'll just keep my bank account low. You know, I'm just pull the money out here and stash it here somewhere. Anyways, so the reason why I have $2 is NFL season's coming up. The Browns are the talk of the NFL, and I was like, I'll spring for Game Pass. They call it. You can watch the games after they're over. You might even be able to watch like out of market games live, and then your own games are blacked out, and you have to wait for them to be over before you can watch them. But I don't care. It was a pretty good value, but they hiked it up to $106 with tax, right? So I'm like, well, money's tight. Like I will buy I'll go by the installment plan. So I'm paying the installment plan. I already paid the $31. They make an extra $20 off of it, and they hit me with the 106 too. So they're double dipping on me. So, and there is no way to contact them. There's no way to talk to a person to straighten it out. Okay, but luckily for me, they give you 3 days. The NFL, they don't play around. By the way, they give you 3 days, and if you don't catch that shit in 3 days, you eat it. So I was able to catch it, and when I logged into the site, it said refund 106, whatever, whatever. Okay, because I'm gonna overdraft. I'm gonna overdraft this month. It's just gonna happen. Nothing I can do about it. I got $2 in the bank. I got $14 on the computer here. That's all I got. I ain't got nothing else. So, but the thing of it is, you don't know how long that 106, if it's going to be like the Pony Express or something, or if it's going to be snail mail or whatever term you want to use, getting there. So you don't know when you're going to get that money back. And so I got an aide coming here who is the aide that actually offered to enter the building and put her job in jeopardy to help me. I guess it's because I'm such a handsome feller. But anyways, I don't need her to do that. I don't care about this place. That's what I told Roy. He's like, I'm a little bit upset about the amount of noise in the hallway. You? Question mark. And I'm like, I quoted what I said to Gerald. I said, I'm not concerned with anything that goes on in this building now. And I said, this is what I told Gerald, and I put quotation marks. And this is exactly what I told him. I said, I care about this place now just as much as you did during the crack and meth days. Then I explained to Roy in parentheses that I meant, because he was whacked out of his skull on whatever they got him on. He didn't even know the meth thing was going on. He's got ghouls I mean, walking by, he's got the living dead walking by his door 4 or 5 in the morning. You don't even know. He's like, meth trade? And, he was just taking a lot of medication at the time because he's in a wheelchair. He's got spastic paraplegia or something, something like that. But I think he takes Valium too, by the way. So, for continuity's sake, we'll stick to the main points here. Okay? Danger, threats, already aroused the tobacco demon, uh, and I've been on Valium too long. I'm having to take more of it to cope because I'm in a hostile environment. I'm in a bad situation, and yeah, I don't see why the guy wouldn't help me out. He seems to like me anyway, uh, so I don't see why he wouldn't help me out. When I asked him about medical marijuana, he didn't pause a second, man. He took a pad out and he wrote down stuff. He's like, "Here you go." But it wasn't a prescription pad because they don't do that. But here's the places you go. You go to this place. He's like, they'll hook you up. The problem is no insurance covers medical marijuana. But I was just going to sell it anyway to all these goddamn potheads that I know and try to make a profit because I don't have a problem. It's bad for you if you smoke it, like the people that I see smoke. They smoke an eight, man, of like the potent with the sticky, icky in 2, 3 days. An eight in 2, 3 days, man. You know, that's not that's like before you have your eyes open. You got your bong going, type of shit. You know, and there's a hit and run smoker that crashes upstairs or was living upstairs for a while her mom was gone. But she's funny because she's a hit and run smoker. As soon as the buzz kicks in, she doesn't want to be around whoever she got the shit from, and she just leaves. And I was like another hit and run, huh? And got the guy's name, which I've already said anyway. But and he goes, "Yep, hit and run." Um, she's probably paranoid. Stuff they got nowadays is just crazy anyway. It just doesn't even make any sense. Um, Roy in the wheelchair over there, he's on the vape stuff. He gets the vape stuff because he has trouble breathing sometimes, and he's trying to quit smoking, which he would play tobacco with us, but he doesn't want to have a voice like mine right now from smoking. You know, it's like he might. I don't. Did I say play tobacco or did I say play poker? I don't know. But anyways, I'm sitting here and I don't want to get out of bed and I don't want to eat. I don't want to take a piss, but I have to do both. I had to take a nap, um, and naps never agree with me. I hate naps, but I've got that idea in my head. It's like, yeah, I can use the people that I'm going to, and it might like all be serendipitous, and all might like work out beautifully to where not only am I out of this fucking dump, I'm away from these people that I hate that actually, you know, the family of ghosts over there. And, I'm thinking just hateful stuff, uh, about that. And I'm like, just leave it all behind, man. Maybe the hate will dissipate the further I get away, not know where I am. But get this, man. I don't think I told you any of y'all this. The dude is giving me back the title and the key to a boat that was. Uh, the boat story was there was an old boat. He wanted to fuck around and sand this old boat, And I'm like, I don't know about getting in that boat, but he just wanted to dick around with the idea. He didn't want to take it seriously. And I said, man, we had an experience where the places that we went to fish, we couldn't fish anymore because one place they shut down, another place they actually drained with pumps that we would go to, and we went to like three different places and ended up fishing in this park, you know, it's nothing in it. And I'm we got. I said I got enough money, man. We can get a boat, We can do some boating and do some fishing. I've never been out on a boat. I had a boat about 10 years. Never been out on it. And then during my mother's death, when my brother was taking care of her, that's the thing that makes me want to beat him to death. Is like it's something he likes to do anyway. But he just bailed on the whole situation. I made him make a solemn promise to shake my hand and look in my eye and tell me that you're gonna get my brother out of the house once in a while with that boat. He took him fishing one time, once, and it was something he likes to do anyway. And there was no logic or there's no reason behind it. I don't understand it, so don't ask me to explain it. But I gave him a second chance from that. And then when his mom gets sick, I'm supportive. I'm nice. I'm like, I'm not the invisible man like he was. I dealt with it. I went and saw her in the hospital. I went and saw her in the nursing home. It wasn't pleasant. It wasn't nice. But she recovered now and she's living at home. Living at home to give me shit over the phone. As a matter of fact, she's doing well enough to do that. So, but I gave him a second chance after that kind of betrayal. And the dude moves my boat out in the weather. And without asking me, he just told me, I just moved, it'll be fine. Yeah, it'll be fine. Then he doesn't pull the drain plug on it and lets it be a mosquito larvae factory for like, I don't know how many years, 3, maybe 4, to where there's just water laying in it and probably freezing, and whatever in the wintertime. Um, and then the motor has to be properly taken care of if you're not going to use it. So he wrecked the motor too. Not only does he not offer me a dime of recompense, while he's giving me the title back and we're having a conversation, he's bragging about fishing at Bolivar Dam and how he lost a huge pike there and almost caught it, and how like there's all kind of fish there. It's amazing. It's like that is a clinical narcissist, sociopath, motherfucker. Period. Because he took me to the hospital when I had a bad problem, and we didn't have nothing to do but look at each other. And I said, we should try to be friends again. Handshake, all that. Because we got this. Our history goes back to. There's a picture of us, probably 5 years old, together. We're both in our 50s. So you're talking about throwing away 45 years. That's not an easy thing to do. So I gave him that second chance, and yeah, a, a guy I can't mention that knows him better than anybody else, and I wish I could tell you the whole stories behind the shit, but I can't. But summed him up real simple. Blank cares about blank. We'll call him Jimmy. Jimmy cares about Jimmy. It's a perfect way to sum him up. You think I was gonna get? He like ruined that boat. You think he ruined the boat, spoiled the sail, didn't even check out the boat before he had it. Didn't lift the tarp up. Didn't bother to lift the tarp up and see that there was a foot of water in the boat because he didn't pull the drain plug until the buyer is actually there. And the buyer was hot to try, and he looked at that water in that boat and was like, "Dude, I just don't want to buy this boat." It's like, yeah, I don't blame that guy at all. You know, So I had to be nice to him to get that title and that key back, you know. But since he hates the guy that's threatening me all the time that lives here so much, you know, I already gave it to him with that caveat that he has to carry uh, two things I know for sure that the guy bought for that boat: oars and a couple of boat seats. I wanted to carry him down. I don't think I can get my aide to do that. I'll ask. I think I will ask because that guy's not reliable. And anybody that smokes and drinks that much, they're not reliable. Um, just drop them off at the house. I just ask her, give her an address, and ask her if she, she'd be willing to do that. She, if she's willing to come into a bed bug infested house, she might be willing to do that for me. I just get that taken care of. Like here, sell it, make some money. Go ahead, don't care, I don't care. You know, um, yeah. When I told that story on here before, but he actually jokingly, like to make it seem like he wouldn't have grabbed up the money, uh, offered to sell the boat cushions in front of me, or the boat seats in front of me, to my cop friend because we had to move it in a hurry because the property that was being sold, anything left on the property, I would have lost the boat entirely, which I'm going to lose. I'm not going to make any money off of that boat at all anyway because I'm giving it to the war vet, and he'll probably just take it next door because they scrap metal next door and just give it to them and take whatever they can get for it. And he'll take whatever. I mean, he'll take whatever he can get for it and to take the license plate off. And I'll give him the guy's number because it's in that guy's name. That's why I had to wait on the title because we were going to be buddies fishing on this boat. And I was like, if you don't think it's legit, call this guy's number and tell him my name, and he'll tell you it's legit. You're not involved in anything criminal here. Just take the license plate off the back, before you scrap it, and do it that way. But yeah, it's like why I'm thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, if they'll fund that guy, they'll fund me. I might be I don't know what percentage of rent was being paid, but they'll pay a percentage of my rent at least. Somebody just got set up there that was in a domestic violence situation. Well, I got a PTSD guy living here threatening me every day. Okay, he's not living in my apartment, but he's threatening me every day. And you know, plus I got addictions rekindled. And plus, the guy's had me on Valium for since December, so thinking it should work out. I'm thinking it's a good idea, and I'm thinking, um, yeah, there's no reason for me to stay here that long. You know, um, a weird day, just a weird day. A long line of weird days. But yeah, well, Mr. New Subscriber, Pete Barton, I hope you enjoy content I provide. Isn't that the phrase people use when people are on here bullshitting and you know juggling or playing with words like I do? So Pete Barton, I hope you enjoy the content, and that doesn't. It's not a cool thing to do, but it doesn't really bother me, to be honest. It was just surprising to me. You know, maybe that's funny to some people. You know, my father died in 2015. I didn't speak to him for 13 years. He killed at least one person known, hospitalized, God knows how many people. And it's just kind of surprising to see new subscriber and then see your father's name when your father is basically the boogeyman under the bed of a serial killer. You know, he actually had a serial killer afraid of him. So it's just kind of weird. But whatever floats your boat, Mr. Pete Barton. You know, whatever makes you, if that made you happy, get you a little attention. You know, hey, it's the thing about anonymity. You know, anonymity for me is a bad thing because it means that I have to tell you stories that are only half interesting as they could be. But anonymity is a beautiful thing for certain types of people on the internet, you know, because they can talk shit to people that they would not talk to shit to in person. They can act a mess, you know. There's no accountability, you know. They can watch whatever. I'm not even gonna bring up that kind of stuff. They can watch whatever. They can do whatever, and they can do it in an anonymous fashion. Um, that's in real life. Me growing when I grew up, it's like there wasn't no anonymity. Like people knew where you lived, they knew your names, and maybe that's why people behave better. I also listen to the music like this younger dude listened to. He's 34. It's like, okay, I'm not a big fan of the whole like folk music, peace and love hippie thing that Black Sabbath rebelled against. You know, and that was like that was not their life experience. Was are you going to San Francisco? Put some goddamn flowers in your hair, or wherever the song went. Their experience was Birmingham, England, industrial poverty, nothingness, you know, and that's why the anger come out. Now this shit, this rap shit, it's all like seems to be bragging about violence, hurting people, how much money you have. It's all very uncool. You know, it's not cool. A tough guy don't walk around saying how tough he is. He knows he's tough. He don't even talk about it. A rich guy doesn't go around flashing his Rolex or whatever just to let everybody know how much money he got. You know, because that shows your value system is fucked up. And it's like, I wonder if, like, that's, you know, how the art and culture relationship, like, culture, cultural environment influences art, and then art influences cultural environment. I just wonder, you know, these guys that are cashing in and, you know, like DMX, boom, boom, two more to the head. Now I know he did, or you know that kind of stuff. You know, um, I just wonder about that. You know, it's like if that kind of crap that I have to listen to influence the world negatively. Um, when you know that these people, most of them are posers. You know, out of the original, I don't know much about it, but I saw a movie. But out of the original crew that started the gangsta rap thing, the only guy that was legit drug dealer, gangster type of dude was that Easy E guy. But I watched a movie about it when I had HBO. It wasn't a bad movie, but Ice Cube, I think, I think that's the guy's name. Uh, he was just a citizen, man. He was just riding a school bus. That was he just had an environment where the cops, would profile you. He was getting profiled. I guess he had a couple of bad experience with the cops, just like another nigga. And shit happens. You look like a criminal. You're walking out at certain, by looking like a criminal, I mean matching a description. Like I matched a description a couple of times. I used to walk weird hours, and cops didn't handle me too nicely either. But his life situation wasn't much different than mine. And, but they tapped into some kind of a reflection of urban society or whatever, and created this nonsense that I have to listen to about. There's even one I heard by a woman where she's talking about having bloody footprints on her feet from stomping people and stuff. And then you see all these videos on the internet, and again, anonymity, not necessarily a good thing, of people stomping the shit out of people because there'll be somebody sitting back with a cell phone where you can't see their face, and then they just put it up anonymously and don't help nobody and don't call the police and just let whatever happens happen. Which that guy watches a lot of those videos, and one of them was particularly heinous, where a guy was just punched this guy brutally in the ribs while he was already down, telling him to get up when he had no hope of getting up. Breaking all his ribs and shit. Always comes down to violence with me, but that's what I got to deal with. But yeah, that is my idea. Is like I could maybe get out of here pretty quick, and she has fibromyalgia. Okay, that is why she walks like that. I knew it couldn't be natural, normal. It had to be associated with some kind of ailment because nobody would walk like that. Nobody knocks books off of walls and knocks down bicycles and things off of shelves just from walking. I might not have to listen to that anymore. My life could change. I could have peace and quiet. You know, this guy's killing a lot of my time with this poker. And it's dumb poker because you're playing just one on one. It's hard to make any headway. You play for what, 3, 4 hours? I could be five. I think we played 5 or 6 hours one time. Somebody wins $4 or $5. Who gives a flying fuck? You just wasted all that time. If you're gonna play poker, and the thing about poker is I had a lot of bad experiences with it. Like I actually had a fight with my father over it, and uh, we didn't talk for like a couple of years because he disrespected me at a table full of strangers because he said I won't play against my own money. In other words, I do not trust you to loan you money. In front of like a table of strangers. He did that, and I fronted him out about it in my house. And my dad, being a killer and being who he was, he got like, I told you, he got like that. And I said, look, if you're gonna get red in the face, you just need to get out of here right now. Just get out of here. And he left. And then he was like, he's like, you threw me out of, you threw me out of your house. And he held on to that for like years. And I don't remember like when it was brought up again or whatever. But the tie into that is there was a fiction going around for years that I didn't talk to my dad for 13 years and just let him die with no goodbyes because of a poker game where he went and spot me a couple of bucks so I could keep playing, and like humiliated me and like in front of a bunch of people that didn't really know all that well. Like I was a bad credit risk because he's like, I don't play against my own money. No, I'm not loaning you any more money, or not. I'm not loaning you any money. You know, and I had to call him on it knife in the pocket or no knife in the pocket. And so um, when his sister was reaming me out about sending her grandson, which he was gonna go there everywhere anyway, over there drunk, and did and was like I was like, listen, I brought that up. I said, man, I'm a nice guy. I can be as hard as flint if I have to be. I said, I let my dad die, and she was there for the last words that I said to him. Because I didn't say nothing to him. I looked him in the eye, and there's a bunch of dogs walking around, and I just looked and I said, dogs, dogs, and more dogs. I gotta go pick something up in the basement because he wouldn't look me in the eye. I ain't talking to him, But the last thing I did before he died was imply that he was a dog by saying dogs, dogs, and more dogs in front of two witnesses in that house over there, and she was one of them. And she was like, I said I let him die and didn't talk to him for 13 years. And she said, all over a card game. And I said, you think I do that over a card game? I said, do you want to hear what that was really about? And she's like, no, I don't. You know. So I carry a lot of burdens, like, because, you know, I've kind of lost my past. I used to have a past that was a lot easier to live with. But truths come out that change things. And I carry those truths for other people that can't handle it because they just can't handle it. They can't deal with it. So that was part of the deal with my nephew. I asked him, I reconnected with him like a month ago, and I asked him, it's like, if you really want to know why I didn't go to your wedding or why I didn't want to sit at the same table or be anywhere near your grandfather. And he was like, I don't really need to know that, but if you feel like you need to tell me, and I thought about it, I'm like, why? You know, why? There's no point. Let him, if he can't piece it together, let him have his, let him have those illusions. Let him have a nice, when you get older, you can have a nice, like, view, a better view of his childhood and the people he was around. Let him have that. If I gotta carry it, then I'll carry it. Even for that old woman that was disrespecting me. But it's kind of strange, that I told the whole story to my cop friend, and it actually made him angry. And he helped the guy move the boat. Well, first he said it made him angry at my father, but then when he was helping the guy move the boat, my brother-in-law said, um, "I don't think we'll call him Joe. I don't think Joe likes me very much." And I told uh, Joe that my brother-in-law said that. He just laughed and he said, "Yeah, I was disrespecting him pretty hard." He said, "Because he's a friend. These are people that are hurting a friend, and somebody hurts your friend, they're hurting you. A friend is not somebody that more or less encourages you to buy a boat that you never go on, and then brags about fishing without you. Like, hell, man. Might as well go there, right? I'm already almost crying. Might as well go there. I mean, seriously, who does this or who would do this? What's in? Oh, that was the computer saying I disconnected the phone. I was charging it. But, yeah, my eyes are burning. Okay, this is while I'm asking him to, yeah. First of all, I'll skip that part of it. But I said, did you remember to drop off the keys and title? I'm broke and I owe my brother money. And I put under the tarp on the seat. Then text me, please. And he said, not yet. Got a headache. We'll do it shortly, okay? And I said, my phone has no minutes, hence the missed call. Can't even buy minutes because government phone only allows that once a month. He says, okay, want to tell you about fishing yesterday. I hooked a huge pike, got it up the shore, and it jumped and threw the hook. That sucked. I was like, where? He goes, turns out Bolivar Dam is loaded with fish, pike, blue cats, crappie, smallmouth, and largemouth bass. Been fishing there lately. I say, go figure. Last time I was there, it was me, you, and Chris. And then uh, he says, caught a walleye last week at Beach City. It's only like 14 inches, but it was still pretty cool. I think you get the idea. You know, guy don't go fishing on me with a boat, ruins my boat, ruins the sale of my boat. And he's bragging to me about fishing while returning the title to the boat. Clinical narcissism tinged with varying degrees of sociopathy. Jim Bob cares about Jim Bob and the good times that he's having. He could give a shit about this guy. And it's difficult when you've known somebody their whole life and you grow up with them. I'm gonna fucking out this motherfucker right now. My dad, being my dad, did not want to take him in as a foster brother. My mom insisted upon it. My mom gets sick. He sees her once. Can't handle it. Okay, you can't handle that. You can't handle the person that saved your ass and fed you. You can't handle seeing him go. But then you won't even get the person that can handle it and has to handle it on a daily basis. You can't even, after making a promise, a solemn promise to me. It wasn't like, no, I'm like, this is a serious thing. You're gonna do this. I'm not gonna put this money out there, and you're not gonna do, you're gonna do what you're gonna say, right? You know, this is not like, hey, why don't we do this type of thing. This is like me looking you in the eye, and like, this is serious. You know, we don't have to cut ourselves and put our hands together, but this is serious. And not only does he not take care of the woman that took him in by early, at least check up on her because he can't handle it. He don't even get the main caregiver out of the house when it's something he likes to do anyway. That kind of shit would put murder in your heart. He was writing me that shit yesterday. He dropped that key off yesterday. That kind of betrayal, man. I'll go through back surgery again before I go through that kind of stuff, man. But that's just the people that I know. It's like with my sister, 12, 27, 17, and this sick motherfucker. And even after he did that, even after the woman fed it and cooked and clothed him, my mother, even after he did that, I was like, let's try to be friends again. Because he was honest about what he did. And that's all I need is honesty. I said, let's try it again. And then he pulls this shit with this boat. One thing I can say is that dope head, he's carrying the secrets. He knows the full story. But as far as other people, if his mom wants to carry her illusions, you know, and I've had other people bring up that card game shit, like a person I can't hardly describe to you, and I'm not going to. Um, Other people bring that up to me because they like, because a sociopath, man, they know how to be likable. They know how to be fake. Okay, this guy never has any shortage of friends. People to hang around and whatnot. That's a sociopath. That's what my dad was, Mr. Personality, when he was going out there and stuff like that. Um, that's just what a sociopath does and what they are. But I don't know where I'm going with this anyway. So I guess it counts as crying if your eyes leak a little, huh? And burn. I don't know what crying is or what counts as crying. I don't do it very often. But yeah, I'll carry those burdens for those people if they want me to carry them. I mean, especially my nephew, who I was a father figure to. You know, he said that he'd be willing to listen to anything I have to tell him. But why? You know, it kind of fucked me up and fucked up my whole childhood. It tainted everything in it. And my childhood wasn't a party anyway. But the actual truth, the actual whole truth. I mean, truth, you'll set you free, my ass. Don't you believe that for a minute, man? Don't even believe that for a minute. Truth will set you free from delusion, and lies. That's what the truth will set you free from. But if you don't think that's a chain around my neck and an anchor on my soul, knowing the truth, then you didn't watch this video very closely. I think I'm done. I think I need to. I deliberately started this having to pee, keep myself from going too long, taking myself down that dark road, which really I was already there. The whole Pete Barton thing, I don't really care about that. That's just somebody trying to be funny. You know, what? Maybe it is funny. I don't know. Is it funny to you? I don't think it's funny, but I'm trying to think of a joke that'll be an example of a mean joke. Okay, here's a mean joke. This is funny to some people. Some people it's not funny. But what did the woman say to Michael Jackson while she was lying on the beach? Excuse me, sir, but you're in my son. I think it's a funny joke, and it's a lot more offensive than my dad's name. But I think it's a funny joke. But I don't think my dad's name's all that funny. Or a subscriber subscribing with my dad's name. I think that's probably just an attempt to hurt me. Um, I'm just gonna tell you, you failed because I was already in a fucked up mood. You know, you wake up in the morning and you find out you got $2 in the bank. You know, I'll leave a link to a Howlin' Wolf song in there because people be talking about the blues, they don't like the blues. Well, the blues ain't about that. The blues is like when you ain't got no woman. And it's like when you ain't got no money. You ain't got no money and you ain't got no women and you ain't got no way to pay the rent. You damn sure got the blues. But I'll leave that link there on the bottom for you. And go get myself some food. And go have another catharsis another day. Yeah. My psychiatrist never goes here. I have to be my own psychiatrist because he'd be like hiding under the fucking desk if he knew my secrets. he he'd be like transferring me to somebody else. He's like, yeah, okay, you know, uh, yeah, we're gonna transfer you to this other guy, for a while because I'm going off vacation, and then he'd be sneaking around in the building and like asking when my appointment days are so he can take that 15-minute bathroom break. Ah, man, peace and love, fellow human beings.